Hi there. Today we're going to be breaking down the pose headstand. So we had a request to do a headstand tutorial, and this is a great pose. There's a lot of benefits to headstand, including reversing the blood flow, getting lots of oxygenated blood into the head and the brain. It's a really great pose to practice. We do have to be very careful when we practice this pose though, so I'm going to teach you how to do this pose very safely. So the first thing we're going to start with is the placement of your hands. Now there's other ways to teach this. This is the way I teach it, to protect your neck with balancing any weight on your head. You want to be really mindful of your cervical spine here in your neck. Those bones are very small and delicate, really not meant for bearing lots of weight. So the way I'm going to teach you, you'll be able to make sure that's protected. So we're going to start with the placement of the hands. And it begins with placing the elbows on the ground right underneath the shoulders. So you want to grab hold of the elbows with the hands and then place your hands down onto the floor. That's how you know they're shoulder width apart. The next part is going to be, once your elbows are down on the ground, you want to clasp your hands. Then you want to take this pinky that's at the bottom and just tuck it under so you've got a nice flat surface. So you see the difference between that and that, just tuck it under. Then you've got a nice flat surface underneath your hands. So my hands are clasped, but it's very, very loose so that you have a place to put your head. I'm going to teach you a couple of preparatory exercises to build strength that you need for this pose. So let's get started. Once you have your placement of your hands, again, remembering to hold the elbows, clasp the hands lightly, tuck that bottom pinky underneath you. You'll come into a dolphin pose. So you just tuck your feet underneath you and stretch the legs towards straight. Don't worry if they're still bent. And you can walk the feet a little further away or a little closer, whatever feels best for you. So this exercise, you're just going to drop the head and let it hang nice and heavy. You're going to lower the head down onto the floor and then push back up. Good, so dropping the head down so it touches and pushing back up. So we're using the strength of the shoulders here. We'll try and do about 10, dropping the head down and back up, down and back up. Good. So we're building the strength in the shoulders that you're going to need when you do start to balance on your head. You want to feel that pushing down through, really from the shoulder blades all the way down into the elbows and the hands to hover the head over the floor, so that the majority of your weight bearing is happening in the forearms rather than on the top of the head, again, to protect the neck. So that's the first exercise you're going to try. Try and do about 10 and work your way up to build strength over time. So if that's really challenging for you, you're going to want to stop here before you go into headstand and work on building strength by doing that exercise. Another thing I should say when we're getting ready for this next part is, if you feel like you are worried about going up into headstand, you think you have the strength for it, but you're not sure if you have the balance, just bring yourself over to the wall so that if you do start to fall over, the wall will catch you, okay? Keep yourself safe. So again, we're going to place the hands in the same way. Tuck the pinky under, nice loose grip through the fingers. We're going to come back up into that dolphin position with the head now on the floor in between the hands. So the part of the head that should be on the floor is just the very top of the head. You can imagine if you were to balance a book on your head, that's the point of the head that wants to be on the floor. Not too far forward. Again, that's going to crunch your neck, and not too far back. We want to find that perfect center for balance. So we'll place the hands down, place the head down, and then start to lift the legs back up. So even here, push down through your shoulders so your head is just lightly hovering. And then you'll take one leg and lift it up. Good. And bring it down. Lift it up, the other leg, and bring it down. Keep pushing down through your shoulders, keeping your neck nice and long. First leg goes up and down, and the second leg up and down. So you'll want to do that
at least 3 times on each side, maybe more. Again, building up strength over time. If you were noticing it was hard to lift your leg and still maintain the strength through your arms, length through your neck, and not a lot of pressure on your head, then this is where you're gonna stop and continue those 2 drills, again, to build strength to get to the final pose. If that felt okay for you and you feel like you're ready to move on, I'm actually gonna give you a quick little tip here on that one. When you lift your leg up, you want to think about engaging the legs from the toes. I like to use this kind of a floint position, this Barbie toe. So it starts to engage the muscles of the legs to help the legs feel lighter. If there's no energy or attention in the foot, then the whole leg is going to be loose and limp and very, very heavy. So active through the toes, strong through the legs. You can feel the muscles kind of hugging into the bones. That will make your leg feel really, really light. So now, again, if you felt okay with those first 2 steps, you feel strong and feel ready, move yourself to a wall. If you need it, we're gonna come up into headstand. The key thing when coming up into headstand is to only use that strength that you've been building, okay? We're not jumping into headstand. So we place our hands, place our head, and even with the head placement, you want to work on pushing down, just very lightly placing the head. You'll come up into this position with the head on the floor, push down through the elbows, and then you're gonna slowly start to walk your feet in towards your face. Good. Keep imagining you're being lifted up through the pit of the belly, the very bottom of the belly, and inch your feet in closer. Good. Then you can bend one knee and lift the other leg, put it down, bend the other knee, and lift. Good, so you can hang out here, alternating sides, again, building strength. And when you feel ready, you can start to lift your legs all the way up into headstand. Good, continue to push down through the shoulders, let the head hover. Active through both legs, through all 10 toes. And then to come down, you'll just slowly bring one leg, then the other, and be sure to rest in child's pose. So headstand is a challenging pose that is worth every step of the journey to get there. So do work entirely, fully, exactly where you are in this moment, and don't worry about where you're going. You'll get there if you keep working right where you are. I wish you all the best. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments about headstand. Also, if you have another pose that you want me to break down, leave that in the comments and I'll be sure to get to it for you. Namaste.